Good evening and welcome to the Town of Wareham Board of Selectmen's meeting for January 12th, 2021. May we have a roll call, please?
Yes, there are 5 selectmen present, as well as Town Council Bowen, as well as Town Administrator Sullivan.
Attorney Bowen, would you lead us in the pledge, please?
Be my honor. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of
the
the United States of America
and to
and
the
to the
republic
republic for which it stands,
one
one
nation
nation,
under
under
God,
God,
indivisible,
indivisible, with
liberty
liberty
and
and
justice
justice
for all.
Okay, thank you. Announcements, please. Alan.
Okay, everybody should have got, I believe, in the last day or so, the Town of Wareham Community Energy Aggregation CEA program. It's similar to the one we got about a little over a year ago. This one here is for 35 months. We're back into the 25-member municipal group, which gives us a much more advantages from a cost standpoint. I believe the savings at this point right now is approximately 12% versus Eversource rate. Everybody understands that Eversource every 6 months changes their rate depending on how much competition is sitting out there where they have to be competitive and not competitive. So this rate basically goes for 35 months, and historically the rates will continue as the rules go up because as energy costs go up, even though they're at a low point right now. So I'm hoping people understand they can opt out anytime they want. They can opt out right on the beginning, but it's here. And again, it's just another way of the selectmen reaching out, and I'm thanking Mr. Sullivan helped me with this particular program of trying to help the community, the residents and the businesses try and save some money for you. Unfortunately, the town of Wareham itself doesn't qualify for this program. Any questions, the brochure, if you haven't got it, let us know. We'll get you a copy with the information sheets, etc. Thank you.
Okay. Patrick.
I have nothing.
Okay, Jim.
Announcements? I'm good.
Okay, Judy.
I'll make up for it.
Yeah.
The family pantry at Damien's Place allows 2 visits per household each month. The pantry will provide a carriage of food, about 9 bags, every Thursday and Saturday from 9 to 11:30 a.m. People must fill out a simple application and provide proof of residence, either a gas or electric bill will do, so that the pantry avoids providing food to the same household twice. The Gleason Family YMCA has a twice-a-month food distribution program in conjunction with the Greater Boston Food Bank. This month, food will be available on January 15th, as well as January 29th. I didn't write the time down, but I know that the food goes in the first 30 minutes, and it's a first come, first serve. Church of the Good Shepherd has a food pantry as well as hot meals. On the first Tuesday of every month from 3 to 5, the church offers families pre-assembled packages of food. Every Thursday, the church offers takeout meals between 3:30 and 4:30. The distribution is first come, first serve. The St. Vincent de Paul food pantry is open at St. Patrick's Church every Wednesday from 3 to 7. The Council on Aging provides Meals on Wheels for seniors over the age of 60 or individuals with disabilities. Meals are delivered 5 days a week to anyone who is qualified and who has signed up. Also available is a free boxed lunch on Tuesdays and Thursdays. You must register ahead of time for those and pick your lunch up between 9 and 9:30 a.m. To sign up, please call 508-291-3130. The Wareham Public Schools continue to distribute free grab-and-go meals for the children under the age of 18. The meals consist of 1 bagged breakfast and 1 bagged lunch. Monday through Friday, except federal holidays, these are available. The distribution sites are Wareham Middle School front entrance, Deacon's Elementary School cafeteria, Shangri-La Playground, the Woods at Wareham apartment complex, the Onset Band Shell. The times are from 10:30 to noon at all of those locations. The child does not have to be present for the parent or guardian to pick up the meals. Also, you should note that the Friday meals consist of 3 days of meals to help ensure that children have enough to eat over the weekend. Both the Congregational Church and the Methodist Church have thrift stores, thrift doors selling clothes and some household goods. Their hours are posted on their bulletin boards outside their parish. Need a break? Yeah, we all do. So I'm offering this suggestion. The Wareham Land Trust is having free mindfulness walks on the following dates and locations. Sunday, January 31st from 1 to 2, the Agawam River Trail in East Wareham. Sunday, February 21st, 1 to 2, the Tweedy and Barnes location in West Wareham. And Sunday, March 14th, 1 to 2 p.m., Marks Cove in Wareham. The number of participants is limited, so please register at warehamlandtrust.org/category/events/. These trails are open at all times now, and they are open from dawn to dusk, and they offer some really nice walks and short hikes. So I advise everybody to look into those. And one more thing, I like to give a shout out to all those wonderful people who post spectacular pictures, either sunrises, sunsets, or just plain locations on the different social media sites. We really do live in a beautiful town. Thank you.
Peter, can I just ask, if all the food pantry and opportunities, do we have that posted on the town website anywhere so people can look at that? That'd be a great thing to do if we could.
Sure.
I can ask Cassie to get that done, because what I do is I send her it, early in the morning. So I'll ask her to get it done.
It's a lot of information, and it's good information.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, I don't have any announcements. For citizens' comments, I see a couple of people I don't really recognize. So what I would ask you to do is, if you want to make comments to the board, just use the chat function, hit the chat button, just identify yourself. And once I see who you are, I will ask the TV station to unmute you so you can speak your piece. So we'll give it a minute or so for people to get in there. And I'll let my dog out. Give it another 30 seconds. Okay, I guess that's that. Moving on, board comments. Alan.
First off, I would like to thank the municipal maintenance workers who are handling the trash at the transfer station. It's pretty unusual for me to get phone calls saying everything is great, thank you very much. But I've had about 5, maybe 6 phone calls actually, and 3 or 4 emails through my Facebook account, actually saying how happy they are with the new setup, how it goes through this, but particularly about the people working at the transfer station, where if someone has an issue or has a question or needs some help, they step up right away. Everybody is friendly. It's working really nice. And I'd like to have Derek, thank Dave Benina's crew very much for what it is. I'm not going to get into any of the information as far as stickers, bags, or anything else. I'll leave that with Derek. We've had some glitches, but overall it's worked out great considering the short time frame. I know myself and Patrick have tried to answer, as well as Peter, on Facebook. Questions that constantly come up, and everything now is really up on the website. So hopefully at this point here, there should be no more questions. One issue that came up, and we've probably all of us have heard from different people over the last couple of months, is some of the businesses have been asking for some tax relief for licensing fees, etc. I've told people that I would bring it up, but it really is up to the town administrator to handle this. And I'm throwing it in his lap, unfortunately, because it's a very difficult thing to do and to make it work. So anything like this would be fair and equitable. But not only that, it sets up precedents that could be very difficult later on in life. I had one, I'm going to look this up if you give me a minute. One business who was a little difficult with us when we changed our heading from the Gateway to the Cape and wanted to change it and stuff, which basically the Gateway Tavern Joe kind of really took us to task for changing that. And I got this little email from him, which I'm just going to read. It's just a couple words. It says, Wareham as a whole has been fabulous to work with during this, which has to do with the COVID-19 pandemic, closing of restaurants and how you have to work to keep them open, etc. And his end of the sentence is, compared to other towns that I own businesses in, I think that really shows that we are trying really hard to make it work for businesses. And it was a surprise to get this. I didn't ask for it, didn't have any discussion about it. So I just want to bring that up to everybody. The last thing, we've been looking at the President-elect Biden's programs that he's basically projecting out. There is no question he has on the plate a real priority for the economic stimulus package. What I'm going to do is put together a list of different projects that we've been sitting looking at for probably, in this town, anywhere from 1 or 2 years up to 10 or 15 years, and just send it over to Peter to see if we put it on the agenda to go through it to see what we can possibly get done. These programs will have to be shovel ready in order to be able to get any chance of getting monies, but they will be there. It's going to be, they're talking about a ridiculous amount of dollars to throw in there. They're going to really be printing money like crazy, I think. But the bottom line is they have an opportunity. If we want to do these things, it's important we get them done. But hopefully we'll discuss that next week. Thank you.
Yep, thank you. Patrick?
No, I could piggyback on what he said, but he said plenty of it. So it's fine. I'll let it pass.
Okay, Jim?
Talking about the business licenses, Mr. Slavin Selectman Slavin. And are we talking about the liquor licenses in particular? I thought we addressed, go ahead, Alan.
Actually, it has to do with licenses all over the place. People, looking for permits for, building, people looking for adjustments for their common vic licenses. Obviously, the liquor license is more
Right.
expensive, but
So-
it's coming from all directions.
Right, and I thought we visited that about, 2 or 3 months ago.
Yep.
And the board didn't seem to have the appetite for it at that point in time. I have read that other towns have done that with their, especially the more expensive licenses. Reduced it by a certain amount, and the board does set the license fees. So it would be in our purview. I'm willing to consider it, whatever the board would like to do. And with those, they run on the calendar year, if I'm correct, most of the licenses.
Yes.
So, hopefully come June or July, things will be rocking and rolling again. More of the old normal, not the current normal. But I just wanted to touch on that we, it's kind of in our lap, and I don't want to dump it on Mr. Sullivan.
It's more fun dumping it that way. And again, I brought this up because I've been asked by at least, I think four people have asked me at least to bring it up again. And I told them I would do that. I couldn't guarantee them I could make anything happen.
So I just wanted to piggyback on what you said, and if the board's interested, I'm interested in listening. And I don't know what the exact financial impact would be, at what percentage if we did do something like that. Is it 25%, 50%, or so? I mean, it's tough to make any decisions without having numbers. But thank you, I'm good.
Okay, thank you. Judy?
No, thank you.
Okay, I just have one thing to say. It was kind of upsetting to read remarks last week on social media that, essentially seemed like they were supporting the invasion of the U.S. Capitol building from somebody who serves on a town committee that's dedicated to improving our public safety capacity. As everyone knows, many Capitol police officers were assaulted by rioters, and one was in fact beaten to death with a fire extinguisher. And this isn't about free speech. It's about whether it's, appropriate speech from someone in such a position. And I would just hope that, people would be mindful of their position before they say things like that. And that's all I have to say. Let's
Just
see.
as a and Peter, just as a sidebar, we actually had one of those police officers a couple of days afterwards, like a day and a half later, actually commit suicide from what happened. That's how
Yeah.
bad it was.
I know, and in every election, there's people that are happy, there are people that are disappointed. And, 4 years ago, there were people who were upset about the election, and, now there's people who are also upset about the election. And we need to stop making these elections about the people who are running and start thinking more about the policies that they would enact and work from that point of view. It's just too bad that we've gotten away from that. I can remember even some of the toughest elections in my lifetime. For example, 1968. I mean, I was a kid who was interested in politics, and I saw all the stuff at the Democratic Convention in Chicago. In fact, one of my friends is the son of one of the Chicago Seven. So, we need to get our act together as a nation, and try to work together, and try to avoid antagonizing each other. And I think that's important. So anyway, moving on.
Peter,
Let's see.
real quick, Peter.
Yeah.
I just wanted to thank you for getting that letter out to Senator Pacheco and Representative Gifford related to keeping the additional income from marijuana. I don't know if it'll be, hopefully it'll have some positive effect on them, but thanks for getting that done.
Oh, okay. Thank you very much. Yeah, I'm sorry I didn't get it done initially. It's one of those things. Like I told you last week, if I don't write it down, it doesn't exist.
Thank you.
I'm very physically concrete. I don't store a lot of stuff in my head. I don't store a lot of necessary stuff in my head. There's a lot of unnecessary stuff in my head, but we won't get into that tonight.
I never lend you money.
Ooh. You got paid back like 2 years later. What are you complaining about? Appointments, reappointments, interviews. None. Licenses and permits. Cool Cone.
Tom,
You want to liven them up?
Whiteside, tell us about Cool Cone.
Yep, we've asked the owner to come in and apply for a common vic license, and he did that. We have all of the license renewal, the license granting paperwork on file. The fee has been paid. The inspections have been made. I have here that we're waiting on the business certificate, and I have not been told that came in, but certainly everything else is in order.
Okay, we also have Tom here to, I asked, since he's getting a common vic and getting, fully legal here, I figured here's an opportunity for him to talk about his business and promote himself a little bit. So with that in mind, Tom, welcome.
How you doing?
Good, thanks.
We're just here to serve the public with this COVID going on, and we're doing tons of takeout for everyone, which is pretty good, because you can eat in your car or eat it at home. So that's helping out. And the weather's been nice, and a lot of people have been eating outside too.
Good. Yeah, it's not so nice out tonight. You might, while you're here, could you give us all tips on how to reheat fried seafood?
No,
Uh,
no.
I really don't know.
Just because one of us doesn't eat it.
A lot of people just bake it in the oven,
Yep.
We try to undercook it a little if they're going to heat it up later. Not undercook it, but a little lighter than normal,
Yep.
that'll
And
work.
we used to have a lady come down from Natick once a week and buy 5 small clams for all her friends. And they would reheat it when they got home. She's no longer with us, unfortunately.
Well,
She
perhaps
drove an
upon
hour.
hearing these excellent instructions, Selectman Whiteside will rethink her stance on this.
Not happening.
I eat a lot of fish, and therefore it's never left over.
Right.
Okay, then.
We sell a lot of fish and chips here.
Excellent. Well, good luck in your business, and may we have a motion to approve, and I guess pending the business certificate.
Yes, I move that we approve the common vic license for Cool Cone at 374 Marion Road, Wareham, pending receipt of the business certificate.
Yeah, I think she said it expires in June. I don't know if you knew that, I think.
What does?
The license?
No,
That's what-
no, it goes December. It goes
Oh.
January to December.
Oh, I must have misread the email. Okay.
Yeah, it's
so
a,
we'll
it,
get-
it,
Yeah,
it follows the regular annual year, not a fiscal year, so it's January through December.
right. It's
Oh,
January
okay.
through December 31st, but, and that will be every year.
Okay.
Again, the business certificate is the only thing we're waiting for, Tom.
Okay,
And
we'll get
the other-
that done, sweet.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
the other piece, the other bit of this is that you will get reminders to renew. Once we have you, we don't let go of you.
Gee,
All right. I'm here for a
So-
while.
wow.
Great. So we have a motion. Can I have a second, please?
Second by Al.
Seconded by Alan. A roll call
I just-
vote. Alan.
I got a couple of questions here.
Just before we do this,
Okay, go ahead. Yeah.
everybody knows that Tom's daughter had a horrific accident. And she's recovering. I just spoke to Tom a little bit earlier. She's gonna be going back to school. And the board itself, I think we all should, wish Tom the best for his daughter, for a complete recovery, because it's really important. She put out a lot, and she was gone through an awful lot to get to where she is. Go ahead. Thank you.
I'll
Thank
go
you,
ahead with your
Alan.
questions, please.
Okay, this is common vic, no alcohol, correct?
Correct.
Okay, because I saw a large sum compared to what the check was for, compared to what the fee was of $84. So I was just a little confused on that. I think the check was considerably larger, what he
Yes.
paid. Additionally, I don't believe there's a fee for it, but the box on entertainment should be checked because he has mini golf there. I see it there on the application. Entertainment, water slides, bumper boats, mini golf.
Do you run the mini golf, Tom, still?
Yeah, no one kind of did it this year because of the COVID, but it's still open, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so then we'll check that off then.
Yeah,
Okay.
and I was just wondering on the difference in the amount of money that he paid, and I understand what it's for, I believe, but I wasn't sure if it was an alcohol license, and that's why I asked.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you. So we have a motion from Judy and a second by Alan. Roll call vote. Alan,
Yes.
Patrick,
Yes.
Jim,
Yes,
Judy,
Yes.
myself, yes, 500. Once you provide the business license and that certificate, rather, that comes from the clerk's office, and you would just get that to the selectman's office, and we'll get the common vic out to you.
All right, great. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Great, thank you, and good luck going forward.
All right, thank you. Bye-bye.
Thanks. Okay, moving to town business, COVID-19 update.
Excuse me, what happened with the Pub 99 application?
May I answer that?
Oh, you may.
Okay. We are still missing documentation. I don't expect it to be on the agenda until the 26th.
And what are we missing there?
A couple of things.
Besides the signature, hopefully they got it signed.
Yeah, there was a name missing and there were other documents missing.
Part of the address was missing.
Yeah, so we
Yeah.
have
Okay, I was
gone
just
back to the
thinking
beginning on that one.
So, because we were gonna vote on it, then we took it off the table and
Right.
because it was missing stuff, so.
Yeah.
I want to be consistent, but thank you.
Yeah, you'll see it on the 26th, I hope.
Thank you.
Okay, we good? COVID-19 update.
I mean, we can run through numbers if you want, but it's,
I think so, because I think the numbers are probably pretty stark still, so I think people need to hear them.
yeah, so I think just going back so people understand, so in October for that month, we had 55 confirmed cases. November, it over tripled to 181 cases. And then as of December 1st, so we're creeping in into January, obviously, but there were 468 confirmed cases. So there's been, since the 10th, there's been 87 confirmed cases and 10 probable cases in the past 6 days. And there was 179 confirmed cases in the past 13 days. And 2 more cases, unfortunately, had passed. So, you know, those people, and, you know, they weren't elderly by any stretch, but we know that 12 cases have died in the past 5 weeks. So there's some real ramifications. If you remember, in the beginning, people were talking about how it was the nursing homes, assisted living. Well, you know, that hasn't been the case on this. This is people outside of those environments. So it's there, it's happening. We need to take care, and everybody do what you can.
Thank you. Questions from the board? Alan?
No.
Patrick?
Nope.
Jim?
No, just wear your masks and we'll get through it.
Judy?
I just would add that our first responders are being inoculated on Wednesday.
Good.
That's a good thing. And hopefully the medical people will be up to speed pretty soon too, because they're the ones that are, you know, they're truly the frontline people
They've all
when it
been
comes to this.
they've all been offered the inoculation.
Okay, good. Okay, moving on. Trash disposal update. This should be lengthy and interesting.
No, not that lengthy. We got the online sticker payments done. So if you go to town's website, you can log in. It'll give you the option, if you're opting out, to pay for the transfer station sticker right then and there. The second option is if you need a curbside, if you need a transfer station sticker but wish to remain curbside. So, you know, I had somebody contact me earlier that they were having some trouble with uploading from their phone, but if you go to desktop view, it starts working really well, and allows you to, if you don't have a scanner, allows you to use your phone as a scanner by taking a photo and upload those documents. And those documents.
Thank you for not saying that someone was me.
That was a free tutorial. You know, so that's a step we should be getting from the vendor. My understanding is at the end of this week, we'll be getting the card stock for us in person, as well as some of the scanners for cards and such. So that's coming down so people can do it in person. Today was the first day that the bags were required at the transfer station. So I spent a good hour down there with some of the crew, and you know, there was some blue language to match the blue bags, but all in all, people were doing a really nice job. And that led to something. What I think, if everybody looks at the layout, one of the big issues we were concerned with beforehand was just how inundated the transfer station was, and the traffic out on Route 28, and knowing that we were no longer had the Marion site and we're basically rerouting all the traffic, we really took that into mind to try and have a place that was quick, efficient, and much cleaner. So one of the efficiencies was keeping it as simple as possible, which is single stream recycling and trash. However, while I was there for the time, approximately 4 people had scrap metal items that they wanted to get rid of. So, you know, in thinking about it, I talked to Mr. Menard, who, you know, he's game for anything. He loves getting things done. So what we're going to do is reach out to one of the scrap metal companies, and then those that have the sticker on the second and fourth Saturdays, just like the brush pile, we will have an attendant available to take scrap metal over at the municipal maintenance department. So it will not be at the transfer station. It will be at the municipal maintenance department. So we will get that up and running. And I think that should be, our belief is we will have that, that all up and running by the 23rd, which is the fourth Saturday of this month. So we will make the formal announcement, but we're trying to provide as much service as we can. Additionally, one of the things we have some good compost again. So they're going to be setting some of that aside for an area for people to come and be able to get free compost as well. We know they'll really take off in the spring. But I think in the past, people forgot that compost and takes you actually turning over the leaves and doing some work. They thought that was just instant composting. So. But it's good material now, and we look forward to having that. And again, that's for people with the stickers that's available for. So.
Okay, great. Patrick, got a question?
Yeah. Well, all I wanted to say was there was a lot of people online talking about discounts for seniors. But I think I want to make everybody aware that, when we went through this process and everybody went through the process, the seniors were taken into account. We were worried about the seniors. In fact, it was brought up a bunch of times, as everybody can remember. And one of the things we tried to do was to say, well, okay, if a senior has X number of bags of trash, and Judy brought this up because she takes her bag, whatever, on a Saturday to the transfer station, and that's about it. Well, we tried to make it so that if they recycled and put their recycled stuff in there, they'd have very little, probably trash left over. So they might use one small bag or whatever in a week or whatever to keep the cost down for them. In general, I mean, that's the reason why I think we chose what we chose, was so that the higher users would pay more money and the lower users would pay less money. So indirectly, they're already getting a discount, because of what they do and what they use and so on and so forth. And I just don't want to hear them say, well, they're screwing the seniors again. That was never, we came up with the best plan, in my opinion. And, Jim and Derek worked on this way more than all of us, but we did have conversations over the course of time. And the seniors were considered, I thought, pretty well. Judy certainly chimed in pretty good for the seniors.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, well, you did. You were right there to say, hey, wait a minute, I have one bag, whatever, and so on and so forth. And I thought that we did a pretty good job, and we tried to be fair to everybody. And I tried to explain to everybody that we all use the transfer station ourselves, okay? Every one of us. So we didn't want it to be expensive. I don't know about you, but I want to pay as least as possible. I think Peter and all the rest of you guys, you want to make sure you have the least expenses possible. Sure, Derek don't live here, so he don't care. No, he does. He's one of the guys. It's amazing how much that guy cares about the people of this town. It really is. Everybody really doesn't know what they have in that guy, to be honest with you. But anyway, we all care about this community. We all care that we got the best deal we possibly can get. And I'm sure it'll be tweaked as we go along. And just as now the metal thing came up, and they're working something out for the metal, which I think is terrific. That's a response to a problem, and that'll keep happening. And ultimately, when we get another year down the road, this will just run smooth and there won't be any issues at all. So I hope everybody will just calm down out there, and be careful what you say about, the people up here that are working, trying real hard to try to make all this happen for everybody, because sometimes you're not too nice to us. You're not too nice to not only the selectmen, but the people that are running the transfer station and all that. They got a lot on their shoulders, and they're doing the best they can for all of us. Let's try to give them a little respect, huh? That's all I wanted to say.
Okay, thank you.
Can I just add one thing?
Sure can.
Yeah, please.
I don't know what the percentage is, but many of our seniors live in mobile home parks, and those are not impacted by this particular program, because their trash is taken care of by the park that they live in, and it's part of their monthly fees. So, if you own a home, it's different for you. Yeah, you may have been badly impacted. I have to say that I started recycling and composting and everything on the first of the year, and I don't even have a half a bag of trash, not even a half a bag. So it's possible.
Yeah.
Whatever. Anyway,
Awesome.
Let me jump
Thank
on that too. Derek, just what were the numbers, car count last week, so people will know?
Let me pull that up real quick.
Yeah, it was kind of surprising. And this is a slow time of year. And just to give you a count, an idea, and most of them are from Wareham, probably 80%.
Yeah, there was 2,659 cars last week. 2,036 were from Wareham and 620 from Carver. And then there was a couple from Rochester. And
Very nice.
I think a Marion person snuck in there, so I gave their TA a little hat.
Send him a bill.
We're about to, just under 77%, but just so that you understand, that was a higher car count at the highest volume during the summer, which is our peak season. Because obviously with Benson Brook no longer being an option, but there was no traffic issues, including Saturday. And Saturday they serviced 736 vehicles.
And it's the same number of compactors. We're just using them all for trash now. Cardboard's going single stream and rerouted internally so that you had a longer queue. So it was the operation and how they were doing it. So, good job, guys.
Thank you. It will be interesting to see this last week versus this week for vehicle counts and tonnage. We didn't have to do one poll today, and versus last Tuesday, I think they had to do 4 polls. So
Makes sense, yeah.
there might have been a last hurrah going on. So.
Thank you.
I would say so. Alan, anything else on trash, or are you good?
No, we basically, put it to death with the whole thing. It's, as I said before, everybody should be satisfied with what's happened. And again, I remind everybody that this really was put together in about a 6 to 8 week period. And when you complain about supplies, try and order stickers and bags and all these other things from any kind of business today. People are 3 and 4 months behind getting anything. So again, just ask people to be patient, and this will work out. This is no different than the issues we had when we put a parking system into Onset. It was just a piece of work with constant changes till it worked out. So everybody should be overjoyed how easily this has gone together.
Yeah. And the bag situation is resolving itself at this point. There were the delays in getting the bags, obviously delays in production, factories get shut down, delays in transportation. I mean, we all know that. You try to order something that shows up 3 weeks later. If it isn't Amazon, I don't know why Amazon seems, I think the USPS is a subsidiary of Amazon these days, not the other way around. But if you order from anybody else, it's taken 2 or 3 weeks to get here. And so we faced the same issues. And then there was certainly some interesting things that happened at a couple of the bag vendors that I won't get into. But, we did have bags in certain places by the end of last year. And then it was just a difficulty at the other end of trying to get them available to customers, internal problems at the stores. But those seem to have shaken themselves out. I know there are additional stores that are coming online this week. And Derek will let us know when those stores are up and running, and we can get that information out to people. I also did speak with Derek about getting a mailing out. It's kind of interesting. A lot of the summer people, of course, don't really track what goes on in their summer hometown, and so they're a little surprised to go on Facebook and learn things. So I think once the information is more solid, the town will come up with a letter that goes out to every tax-paying household to let them know what the program is, where to find the information, so on and so forth. But in the meantime, people just go on the website. It's pretty comprehensive as it is right now. So that's where you're going to get the information. I've had people asking me information on Facebook. I'm sure the rest of you have as well. And, that's good. And actually there have been some good questions that have led to some interesting discussions. I have to say that too. So, it's not a burden for us to try to help people. Please keep the questions coming if you have them. But I think people need to realize too that, we live in a town with the open town meeting form of government. And that means that every single person who's a registered voter can participate as a legislator when we have town meeting. There's 17,300 of you out there. And I understand there's a pandemic, and I understand this was, a little bit catch as catch can in terms of the meeting scheduling and everything else. But 82 people voted, albeit unanimously. 82 people made the decision for the other 17,218. To have this form of town meeting is kind of a privilege because you don't get to do that in any other form of government in this country. But it's also a responsibility. And, if you don't go to town meeting and you shirk your responsibility, it puts you in a tough position to complain about the consequences. So I would just urge people, get involved in your local government. I always tell people, we can screw you up a lot more than those folks in Washington can. So, or we can do a better job than those folks in Washington, but it all comes down to you and how you vote on what we propose. So that's my little soapbox speech there. Moving on, we have a gift.
Yes,
Mr. Chairman, before we do, I just wanted to finish up with the trash bags being sold at municipal maintenance. We were doing that temporarily and only doing the second and fourth Saturdays. Mr. Menard has requested that we keep on selling those and that we continue on the Saturdays, at least for a while. People seem to really like going up there and grabbing it. And it might be for some of those that are concerned about high volume areas, such as a grocery store. It seems to be a little bit easier for them and less nerve wracking. They get in and out right away. So we're going to keep that up and running, and that'll be Monday through Saturday, 8 to 3 p.m. And then additionally, we will be posting a link where those that are truly afraid to go out anywhere, they can purchase, and they only do 2 bags at a time, and you have to pay for the shipping cost, but they can purchase them directly from the vendor. So we'll put them for a link.
Bags.
So
Was that 2 bags, or you have to buy two boxes of bags?
no, just 2 bags.
Oh.
That's just the way the vendor's setting them up. So yeah.
Okay.
So maybe for some of the people that are really concerned to go out might be the best option. So we'll set that up as well.
Great.
That should be available on our website tomorrow.
Great, thank you. The gift.
Okay, we have a very generous gift from Gretchen Grunstom of 26 Winslow Lane in Wareham. It's a $500 gift to support the Wareham Animal Gift Account for the medical care of any stray animals. I recommend that I make the motion that we accept this on behalf of the town. It's a very generous donation.
Second by Alan.
Okay, motion to accept the generous gift by Judy, seconded by Alan. Thank you very much. Roll call vote. Alan.
Yes.
Patrick.
Yes.
Jim.
Yes.
Judy.
Yes.
Myself, yes, 500. Thank you again. Next up, vote to authorize negotiation of a marijuana host community agreement for cultivation and manufacturing with Trava Inc., 3119 Cranberry Highway, East Wareham. So we had this before us last week. I believe there was also some change in there as well, maybe for the business plan or something. But anyway, we had sort of done this backwards. So I guess we'll vote this week to authorize the negotiation, and then we'll go ahead next week with the documents as presented. Any questions about that? May we have a motion, please? Oh, Alan's got a question.
I spent a little time because there was such confusion about the original, application with an address on Main Street, and then it changed to an address on Route 6 and 28. And I have concerns because the people that were applying for this, I had done a little research and stuff, and I had checked with the town planner and stuff. And there was an issue with the partnership, which supposedly has been changed, that one of the partners, I believe, on this particular business was involved with Fall River, with the mayor of Fall River as well, with the trying to buy a license basically, rather than getting it properly. My understanding is that that particular person isn't there. I'm really not in favor of doing anything with this particular company until I see a full list of the investors, so I know who is really involved. I have an issue there, and I think we need to do due diligence, because I don't want to end up being like Fall River down at the end of the day.
Okay, fair enough. Well, tonight we would vote to open the negotiations with them, but that doesn't mean they get closed.
Just as long as we have a list of the investors. If not, I can't vote for it.
And
Okay, thank you. I would say that those are concerns we can make to make known to the director of planning so that he can try to get that information, just to satisfy those concerns. Jim?
The business is going to be located on Cranberry Highway. 1 floor, 2 floors. Who are the proponents for the business? No, doesn't anybody like come in and introduce themselves and say who they are and what they want to do, and introduce themselves? And for some reason, I remember that happening on a couple of others. You Can Be Two and T-Bear, and we were kind of doing both, and that's all seemed to have stopped now. So I did a little background on, just went to the website, Secretary of State's website for this particular, is it Trava?
Yeah.
Yeah, ABA. And, looked at their business. What is their business background? What was their other businesses that they spoke about in their application? It would be just nice to talk with them and get to see who's applying to do business in town. That's all I have to say. It was just generalization on process and what we're doing. Thank you.
Okay, thanks. Okay, are there any other concerns, Patrick?
No, I don't have any concerns. This is a grower / manufacturer. And, frankly, they don't really have much of an impact because you hardly even know they're there. And so I don't really have much issues. If it was a retail license, I'd be concerned. I am a little concerned that the retail license in this same location has not come to fruition, though, or has the other retail license over in the industrial park has not come to fruition. And that bothers me because those have been hanging out there a long time now. Since we put them out there and did it. And I think, if we don't get something going pretty soon with those, then they can't get a license. So whatever the issue is, we need to move on and get somebody else in there that will take the license.
Yeah, to your point, Patrick, I did go on a tour of one of those facilities, and that one is, I would say, about this close. They need a final fire test, and I'll talk about it more during the liaison initiative reports, because it really should fall into there, I guess. But at least one of them's on the ball with this. So
Okay.
I'll talk about that.
That's fine.
Peter, I just want to make a comment there. People have to remember that the Cannabis Control Commission changed the rules. If you're a manufacturer, they have a delivery program that the manufacturer can deliver direct to customers. So that it is a retail function when you actually think about it. That manufacturer, that location can sell direct to the public and deliver there. Because the
Yeah, we'll
rules,
see if that stands up when the
Yeah.
retail association sues them in court, because that's happening.
I understand, but that's the law right now. So
Well, but they have to deliver. They can't have them at they can't have them at the site. So, there's a big difference between bringing people to a site and taking them and delivering it to somebody else. So
it's still a retail sale, Patrick.
it's a retail sale, but it's not the thing about the retail sales that is the problem is is the traffic and the congestion and all the stuff that goes along with them. That when they come to the site, that's the biggest issue, in my opinion. I mean, that's, other than that, they're just like any other business,
Not disagreeing.
Just
I'm
because they
just,
sell marijuana, that doesn't mean anything. They could be selling widgets, but,
Yeah.
we still have
Bottom
to be.
the bottom line is it's still a retail sale. And I think I brought this up a week or so ago about we having companies that are sitting holding licenses that we have for 9, 10 months, whatever, with nothing happening. So, and actually.
Well,
Mr.
I agree with that. I just brought that up, and yes, they have to get going, because otherwise we should turn our attention to something else, to somebody
Yeah.
else.
And like I say, Mr. Sullivan said they would look into it and actually put it on us to go ahead and do something. And that was a week ago. Thank
So
you.
we reached out to them. I'll give you the, just easy enough. You can just ask me, guys.
We're getting kind of far afield from a vote to authorize a negotiation with one company here, so.
I apologize.
No, it happens. But, maybe in upcoming, we'll put it on as a follow-up. Just a general, marijuana licensing policy discussion. I think that might be the appropriate venue, so we can really cut loose with this if we want. So why don't,
I'll make the motion.
yes, please.
Okay. I move to authorize the negotiations of a marijuana host community agreement / for cultivation and manufacturing with Trava Inc., 3119 Cranberry Highway, East Wareham, subject to seeing a list of investors.
Yeah, second.
Okay, we have a motion from Judy and a second from Patrick for negotiation. Roll call vote. Alan?
No,
Patrick?
Yes.
Jim?
Present.
Judy?
Yes.
Myself, yes. So the vote comes down to 3 in favor, Jim present, and Alan opposed. So 3-1-1. Okay, thank you very much. Latham Center, I didn't see anything come through, so I guess we're gonna.
Well,
Pass
then,
over.
on that. Oh, go ahead. Sorry, Judith.
We don't have any paperwork at all.
No, and I put the ball in their court, and I had worked with Attorney Bowen, sent them something. They sent something back. I said, hey, it's in your court. We need this, this, and this. And so yeah, just
We'll pass over it then.
thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks. Let's see, any other town business for 48 hours? Alan?
no,
Patrick?
Nope.
Jim? Jim, any 48-hour business? No?
No.
Judy?
No.
Myself, no. TA report.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We've gone through a lot of stuff, but I think it would be good for you to, this is what Director Buckland sent out to our 2 retailers that wasn't open. The Cannabis Control Commission is burning through licenses, and we have a list of people who want retail licenses. When are you going to open? That was
Thank
what we sent.
That was blunt.
Oh, I'll jump in right now then, since this is coming up under your report. Director Buckland and I had a tour of the Trade Routes facility yesterday, in fact. They are waiting for 1 fire test that is scheduled for this week. Following that, they will need a certificate of occupancy from Inspectional Services. They've been working with Director Requena on that. And as soon as that is done, they get their final inspection and final license from CCC. So they should be fully licensed, I would imagine, within a month.
And that one, that's similar to the response it was put that could be a few more months out towards the warmer season, but sounds like it's going better than anticipated. However, my concern is the other company has not been so responsive. So I think we're going to make one more attempt, and then we'll reach out.
Well, we have to take a look at this, and this might be an executive session thing, because I don't want to get too far out in public on discussing what we're going to do with the license that we've issued without cloistering with our counsel. I think that's important, because these are contractual documents, and I want to make sure that we have a right of rescission here before we even talk about it publicly. to the
Yeah,
extent that we can.
Peter, I think we can talk about it. I think we can't make any decision until we obviously talk to council, and we probably, an executive session, we have one coming up. You could easily put it on, and we could talk about it then, you know?
Yep. So, I didn't mean to cut you off there, Derek, but I'm just concerned about the other end of doing this.
Nope. And there was with the executive session, there is something with the potentially another contract, which I was hoping to resolve, but I want to push that out and talk to town council a little bit about it before we go forward.
Okay.
So I think we've got some time on it.
Are you talking union contract there?
No, sir.
Oh, okay. I just wasn't sure when you said contract, very broad. So,
Being purposely vague.
yeah. I understand what you're saying about the licensing, and at least to know where the issue is for the failure to move forward is important. And for a while it was with the cannabis control, and as you're saying now, they're burning through them. So if we can get more information on what that situation is, it would be very helpful if we do discuss it.
Yep.
Thank you.
Okay, good. Derek, anything else under your report?
No, we've got a company coming in and getting some people set up to do in-house COVID testing for town staff tomorrow and potentially on Thursday as well. And this would be reimbursed by the CARES Act. Just given the timing, we're after the holidays, and you know, you have some people asymptomatic. This is one of the strangest viruses you'll ever see. We just felt it's a good time to get everybody tested and see where they stand. So.
Good. Thank you for looking out for the employees. That's important.
So, and that
Okay,
is
then. Moving on, liaison initiative reports. Alan.
Wasn't a lot happening this past week. Mass Municipal Association, actually the division of the Mass Select Board Association, had their annual meeting on Friday. They elected officers for the coming year or 2 years, depending on the position. I was re-elected again for another 2-year term as the Region 4 representative for Plymouth County, Cape and the Islands.
congratulations.
Well, yeah, it's a wonderful time. We'll have to go back into Boston again. It's always a joy spending 5 hours in a car.
You love that stuff.
Oh, yeah, I love it. All right.
You like the new bolts.
My hemorrhoids don't like it, though. I was also appointed to.
Way TMI.
That's okay. You know, I was also elected to the Board of Directors for the Mass Municipal Association. And also I was appointed to the Local Government Advisory Council to the governor. So I'll continue to be able to basically bring Wareham's issues right at the state level.
Thank you.
Very good. Congratulations on
That one
that.
shocks me, Alan.
What?
That one shocked me.
Well, Lieutenant Governor didn't blackball me this time.
Wow. Big shot.
Okay, then. Let's see. Patrick, liaising?
Yeah, I had one meeting with the police study committee, and you know, they're working towards getting out an RFP, which is great, because now we're kind of really moving towards, you know, what it's going to cost, where we're going to get, what they will need, all that kind of stuff, which is really kind of exciting. So we're moving in that direction, which I'm really excited about, and they're doing a great job, and I can't wait for the meetings to come. They just don't come fast enough.
Okay, then. Thank you. Jim?
Had an affordable housing trust meeting this morning. A lot of conversations around a lot of different things and about all the different projects going on in town. I guess we got what, 3 or 4 40Bs going right now. You know, you got Littleton, and we have a Settlers Glen up off of Red Brook, and we have What's the other one right across the street there, the big one?
Dakota Partners.
Dakota Partners, they were in to see us today. Wanted to let us support for phase two. I mean, the horse is out of the barn on that, so it's not that we do or don't, it's a reality. People came in and from Settlers Glen and talked about what they were proposing. I guess you got a letter today. You received a letter today, which was forwarded from DHCD.
Yep, they got their project eligibility letter.
Yeah. Unfortunately, some of these projects aren't coming in front of us, so we don't know about it, being the Affordable Housing Trust. So we weren't able to opine on it. We did discuss it and thought it could have been a little less dense. They're getting, was it 5 units per acre or something? 5.26 units per acre. You take 1 or 2 out of the entire projects. The duplexes are normally 45,000 square feet for a duplex. So, I mean, they're banging the density and the multifamily. So anyhow, we discussed that. Also went to the planning board meeting last night. No, we didn't go to it, Zoom went to it. And project on there, they want to put a triplex on a small lot under a half acre. Discussed it as affordable, which it isn't. It's market rate, but they do accept vouchers, which everybody has to if you're a landlord. So I was discussing this earlier with Mr. Sullivan, and when you give density bonuses for housing, it adversely impacts the town as far as the cost of supplying services and what the tax return is for the buildings, especially if they're multi-bedroom. So, if the boards could be aware of that when they're making decisions related to zoning and getting density increases on a variance, that can be negatively impact the town economically. And they're there to look out for the benefit of the town, not for the proponents of the projects. We have a not CMW. We have a Carver, Wareham district meeting next week. Wednesday, 5 o'clock at Zoom. It'll be up. I don't know if it's up on the calendar yet or not. That would be all. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm glad you went with CW, not WC. So.
We could do WC. I just, alphabetically.
No, WC means something else. Never mind.
Oh, water closet?
Yeah.
You got it.
You guys are bad tonight.
Yeah, they are.
It's okay.
It's all right.
Notice how I said they, I'm not partaking in this. Judy?
No, thank you.
Yeah, well, I'll use this time to talk about the tour that I had at Trade Routes. This is a big facility, and they've got 3 large grow rooms. They have a couple of what they call flower rooms, because what they do in these indoor grow facilities is marijuana has 2 phases of growing. The first phase is what's called the veg phase or vegetative phase. That's when the plant, puts down its roots, grows up, gets thicker, starts producing branches, and so on and so forth. And that's done through the plant's ability to determine what the length of the day is. So the more sun you have, and the longer the sun is, a long day for the plant, if you will, then the bigger the plant is going to get, the thicker and bushier the plant is going to get. And so they give them 18 hours of sunlight and then 6 hours of darkness when they're in the vegetative stage. Then in nature, of course, as fall comes along and the days get shorter, the plant kicks into the flowering stage. The flower is the part of the plant that's, sort of the business part of the plant. That's the part that has the psychoactive ingredients and so on and so forth. So what they do is they just drop them down to 12 hours, and that will immediately trigger the flowering response. And so they've got these rooms where you know, they vegetate. They've got these rooms where they flower. They've got an area where they are going to keep the clones, the mother clones, which they keep in vegetation all the time. The plants last forever and ever. And they cut off little branches from them and they root them. And that's how they start the next cycle of plants they're going to use. Their operation is probably going to produce something like three, in 3 crops a year, because they only need to vegetate with the intense lighting and the length of day for something like 6 to 8 weeks. And then they can kick them over into the flowering thing, which is like 8 to 10 weeks. Again, the place is big. They've already got the rooms, walled in. They've already got the trays in there. They've got movable trays so that they can move the plants from one area of the light to the next. It's an incredible operation, and I would suggest that anybody who hasn't been out there to see what it's going to look like, get a hold of Mr. Pitts and go take a tour. It's quite something. They've clearly invested, millions of dollars into this. Their electric bills are going to be, tens of thousands of dollars a month to provide the light for these things and to produce the product. And it is really an impressive operation. The retail area, of course, they don't have anything in there to sell yet, or the computers or the registers or any of the other stuff they're going to do. But that's laid out. They've got 3 dedicated stations that are going to be for people who do phone order or internet order, that kind of thing. So you don't shop, you just go in and pick up your order. They're going to have 8 cash registers with what they call bud tenders manning them. These are the people who can answer questions about the various strains. This one does this to you, that one knocks you out. This one you want to go mow the lawn. Whatever it is. So they'll have those people there, and it's really quite something. And I have to give Mr. Pitts credit. I mean, this is a Wareham kid. He lives in Rochester now. And he's basically, like so many of us are, just Wareham bog rats. And here he is at the head of a multi-million-dollar investment, and it's going to be a multi-million-dollar operation. So it's really impressive to go take a look at it. So I would advise everybody on the board who hasn't gone out there to take a look to do so, because it's quite an education. Let's see. The redevelopment authority is continuing to monitor the process and the progress of the Littleton Drive project through the ZBA, looking to get some sewer issues resolved, and that's proceeding along as well. And that's all I have. So I think we have a bill to pay. We've got to pay our attorney.
I'll move that we pay the law office of Richard P. Bowen.
Okay, we have a motion from Judy to pay counsel.
Woke them up.
We did wake him up. He's waiting for the second, I think. Do we have one?
Second, I'll
We have a
second.
second. Everybody's going to torture the poor guy. Okay, we have a motion from Judy and a second from Jim. Let's see, roll call. Alan,
Maybe.
does that count as a present? I don't know. Let's see, how about,
That's a yes.
yes, okay, I'm just clarifying here because maybe I don't think it occurs in Robert's rules, but let's see, Patrick,
Yes.
Jim,
Yes.
Judy,
Yes.
myself, yes, 5-0-0. Mrs. Bowen will be relieved. Approval of meeting minutes.
The meeting
What?
minutes for December 1st, 2020, I move that we authorize signing them, approval of them.
Okay, motion to approve minutes by Judy, seconded by
Alan,
Alan. Okay, roll call vote. Alan,
yes.
Patrick,
Yes.
Jim.
A quick question. They come in a separate email?
I have to check.
I thought we had them a week ago sent to us. I'm not sure they were included in the packet, Jim, but I think we had them sent to us.
I didn't see them in the packet, so.
No, they weren't in the packet.
So I can't vote yes or no on it.
Okay.
They were there last week.
Okay, so yours is
Yeah,
an
they were
abstention,
there
Jim?
last week.
Huh?
So yours is an abstention because you haven't seen them?
Yeah, they weren't in the packet, so I figured that it was an oversight or something. That's all. That's all I
Okay.
can say about that.
Judy?
Yes.
And myself, yes. So it'll be 401 with Jim abstaining because he didn't get a chance to look.
Yeah, I didn't get it I didn't see it in the packet, so.
Okay, that's fine. So that's taken care of, and let's see how awake Alan is.
Would you like a motion to adjourn, I guess?
Yep. So we have a motion to adjourn. May we have a second?
Second.
Motion by Alan, seconded by Judy. Roll call vote. Alan?
Yes.
Patrick?
Yes.
Jim?
Yes.
Judy?
Yes.
So, yes, 500 to adjourn. Thank you, Wareham. Good night. Please continue to be safe.
Right
We'll see
on.
you next week.